How do you like it? I'm a novice at this. I make a few mistakes.
Justin Thunderliger.
I don't know.
I think one of the biggest news headlines of the week was the TV streaming deal, the domestic streaming deal in the USA for WWE. WWE is leaving Peacock in 2026, and they are going to the House of Mouse, ESPN. They have inked a deal with Disney, which will see all of their PLEs move from Peacock to ESPN's new platform in the USA. This new platform is launching very soon, and it will be available for $29.99 per month. However, if you are not in the USA, you still have Netflix, and Netflix will be essentially your home for all things WWE. So in Canada, the UK, and other international markets, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and the PLEs will still stay on Netflix. You're seeing the money being thrown, but Hutch, it's good for business.
Yes.
Is it good
for fans? Money. Is it good for fans? Okay, well, it's more expensive, $300 a year on the yearly deal. But, earlier I was saying these media merger deals, these changes don't happen overnight, like when you snap of fingers. So supposedly right now it's only Verizon and a few other cable companies that have the package where it's for free. But by the time this happens next year in April or whenever it is, WrestleMania, everybody, like you said, if you have ESPN currently with your cable package or whatever in any fashion, if you're paying for it or it's included with something you pay for, you will then be able to log into the app and get all this stuff for free. But yeah, it's all about the money, man. Taking the entire catalog off of Peacock and like putting part of it on ESPN and starting to rely more on YouTube and stuff. It's all about the money. They're making their own independent money off the vault being on YouTube. Like, I would bet that during the media rights deals that the back catalog is not that huge of a selling point for Peacock and for these guys. Not only do they have to logistically make space for it and put it into their archives and like maybe even reformat it and different, like there's a lot of headache with moving all of these terabytes and terabytes of data. Yes.
I've worked with some of these companies. It's probably not. It is not fun.
It's not the biggest selling point. So YouTube is going to be now a big money maker for them with all these vaults, the WCW channel, what's going on over there. So that's going to go there, and now they can just bounce around live content. And then, of course, that live content is available as a back catalog. Like, you can go back and see all the Raws that were live all the way back to the beginning of the Netflix deal and things like that. So is it going to be good for fans? I'm not sure if there's going to be much of a change. I haven't lived in the United States for a long time. And one of the few things these days that's good about living in Canada is I get my wrestling on my Netflix and I don't have to worry about shit. So unfortunately, it seems like big money in the States, like big money, the biggest television consumer market in the world by leaps and bounds. If everybody in India had a TV the way they have a phone, then it would be India. But unfortunately, they might lead in phones, but America leads when it comes to entertainment and money. It's all about America. So the only reason that they're selling it as its own rights package in America is just so bloody lucrative. But the rest of us, we get it on Netflix, thank God.
Live TV as content is huge still, and WWE produces 3 to 4 weekly shows a week with one special attraction show a month. That's a lot of live content that is just up for grabs with millions of possible viewers. Like, I think that is the biggest thing. And like a lot of people have been saying, oh man, I miss the WWE network. But like we said, similar to how TKO bought AAA and they're going to buy a Japanese company and they're going to buy one of those British companies and et cetera, it is easier to go to an established brand than building your own. It is a huge money pit to have your own. And guess what? Because you own it, you have to pay developers, you have to pay this, you have to pay storage, you have to pay bandwidth and et cetera. It is easier, and you're just literally leaving money on the table. Because look at this. Look at the money that these companies are paying for this.
Over the 5-year deal with 300 and change, I think it's like 1.5 billion.
Yep.
Do you know how much it was probably to buy AAA? Not. It was probably only like freaking Chris Jericho probably could have bought it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was probably less than 10 million total, all in. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pena. Have a nice day. So this is TKO trying to buy assets, make money, and that's why they've gone from Peacock. Peacock might have said, well, we'll give you 2.2 instead of 202 instead of the 175, and they're like, no, sorry, they're offering 3.5 over here. Bye. There's even scuttlebutt and talk about them selling WWE. These are big time mover and shaker people. This is the kind of people that look at WCW as a line item and say, get rid of the wrestling. What was that? I'm trying to remember the guy's name now. I should know it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember right now. But the guy who took over WCW at the end there was like, no, as a line item and got rid of it. And then Bischoff was screwed because he didn't have TV. So why am I buying this company? It's worth $20, like he said. So like without TV, it's worth $20. So WWE is the media mogul conglomerate. They're the ones, they're going to buy up all the stuff, but they want to make money off the TV because they're bleeding money for some reason.
Well, a lot of these companies just hold debt, right?
Sorry, Disney does it with with their other brands, right? They own Hulu and ESPN. Companies hold debt and then transfer from one entity to another, and this is how you play the game in corporate America. So unfortunately, all of us massive wrestling fans, WWE is just a pawn. We used to be the pawns. We used to be the marks. Now WWE is one of the pawns too. But sorry to step on you there, Boris. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I have numbers in front of me. TKO Group Holdings just dropped financial reports earlier this week for the second quarter of 2025, and WWE is leading the charge for TKO. WWE generated $556.2 million in revenue, up 22% from last year. That's almost $100 million more than Q2 2024. This is attributed to sold-out live events, premium partnerships, and media deals. TKO generated strong financial results in the quarter, led by record performance at both UFC and WWE, said Ariel Emanuel, Executive Chair and CEO of TKO. Our live content and experiences are proving a key differentiator for organizations and brands looking to capture audience, and our strategy is tailor-made for today's experience economy and the white-hot sports event marketplace. Given the continued momentum across our portfolio and our overall business outlook, we are raising our guidance for a full year. Here's the biggest thing. In Q2, WWE out-earned UFC by $140 million as WWE pulled in $556 million and UFC brought in $416. Hutch, if you were TKO, would you even think of selling WWE at this point?
It certainly appears like our hypothesis from before is correct. Like, they are making money fast, but they seem to be razor focused. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't offer Shelton Benjamin another contract, because they are all about the Benjamins right now. They're pushing advertising here and there. Everything's plastered with logos. And like you said, all the different avenues, media rights, things like that. They are making money hand over fist, the shop. And maybe it is to pay off other entities that they have merged with. And would I consider selling it off? I mean, not obviously right now, no, because you're making a ton of money. But like I said, these people have no personal connection to it. They don't care. It's just a cog in the wheel. When the time comes, they'll get rid of it. UFC doesn't have any major stars right now. Imagine you had another Conor McGregor and a Brock Lesnar. Imagine you had your Stone Cold and Rock combo over at the UFC right now. They'd probably be outselling. I haven't had any interest in any UFCs lately. But if you were like, Conor McGregor's coming back and he's taking on freaking Zach Gowen with a robotic metal leg, I'd be, oh shit, dude, I'm all over that. I'll be watching it, right? So UFC doesn't have that right now. Hopefully they're going to learn from WWE, and they're going to learn more pomp and circumstance and a little more subterfuge, and we'll all be tuning in because it'll become a little more drama, right? That's what it's all about. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to, obviously I wouldn't sell it if I'm making more, 100 and change more, 500 and change as opposed to 400 and change. They're like siblings fighting each other. One day real might win out over fake. Who knows? I don't think people like wrestling.
They don't. Generally speaking, they don't get it.
The suits.
They know
the suits don't like wrestling.
They know it makes money, so they're going to keep it around. But I don't think they technically like it. They still see it as a circus, right? Like, they don't see it as real entertainment per se. They know it makes hand over fist money, and that's why they're keeping it around. And let's be honest, these big companies, like even like in my personal life, right? Like the company I worked for got acquired by a major corporation, and well, it's just about revenue at this point. Before, yeah, making money was obviously important, but now it's if we aren't making revenue, we could be sold tomorrow or the next day.
The reason that they laugh at fans that are like overly passionate about storylines and this and that. Like, I know wrestlers who don't even care, where he'll be like, hey, don't talk to me, you know, talk to Vampiro. He doesn't want to talk about any matches from his career. He's like, I don't give a shit about any of that freaking stuff. That time that I should have beat Sting, that blah, blah, blah. Like, some fans like, dude, I'm a big fan and I think you should have this. He's like, I don't freaking care about the minutia of my matches. Like, it's okay. Nick Khan, like, do you think he cares about who wins and who loses in the match? No, it's like, they're beyond even the wrestlers that don't care. Like, they might even not even remember the wrestler's name. Like, they're referring to Charlotte Flair. They call her Ashley. Like, it doesn't even register to them what we're talking about. So them selling it one day, I think, is just a matter of when the time is right. You know, as easily as WWE moves all their stuff to ESPN is as easily as a major corporation might move their TKO thing, break it up and sell a portion off here and sell a portion off there.
Yeah, that's what these companies do essentially, right? That's how they operate. And
the pawns, we're the ones that suffer. A friend of mine, he did the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday SmackDown double SummerSlam and Raw, 10 grand out, like, it just, and that's just like a throwing out that figure. He's at least 10 grand, you know, like tickets, flights, hotels, food, merchandise. He's 10 grand for the 4 days. Like, freaking 10 grand for him. And I don't think he has a big family. I think he's got like one kid and his wife or whatever. Maybe they brought another kid. I don't know. I hope they did for 10 grand. Jeez. 10 grand, so like WWE, you know, Triple H comes out and Stephanie comes out as a WWE icon and they're out there, the biggest revenue and the highest ticket sales ever. It's like, you've been in this building before. You've sold out this building before, and now tonight you're here and you're not sold out. You're at like 80-something%. And so, like, it basically means you're ripping people off more. And you're in the ring. This is the highest gate we've ever had. And everybody's cheering, and he's got the spotlight on him, and he's like, yeah, this is great. And it's like, then you get the people that are like a step beyond it that are like, dude, you fucking douche. You're like just ripping us off. Like, and I love short shows, but then there's guys out there who are like 5 matches and like Cody Rhodes and John Cena for goddamn 40 minutes or whatever, and I got to pay all this money, and you're in the ring gloating about how you made more money this time. And I'm like, great, I've been here 5 times in the last 10 years. I'm glad you made more money. I'm sitting in the same bloody seat I've sat in every time. I'm glad you made more money off me this time. You know, there can be some angry people out there.
Oh, there are some angry people. But yet, here's the thing. They complain for a couple weeks, then it's like they forget, and they do it all over again for the most part.
And now ESPN costs more than Peacock, you know, so I don't know. There's some people that might not have that package. You know, I don't have any cable packages. Thank God I have Netflix. I don't pay for cable. I do everything online. If I lived in Fresno, California, and I wanted to have me some WWE, I might be a little bit angry that I got to pay for the ESPN app.
We're paying so much.
Or even worse, my freaking 14-year-old son that's obsessed with Rhea Ripley's ass is now going to pirate sites, and my computer has viruses in it now. You know, it's a slippery slope.
And then we wonder why we have tech issues trying to record this show.